In the cafeteria, my childhood friend had saved me a seat early. After I got my food, she winked, signaling me to come over. Normally, I would have refused, then wait to eat with Bai Jie, the campus beauty I had always dreamed of. But now, I obediently carried my tray over. Xiaotian curled her lips into a smile and waved me over. No one's sitting here. Have a seat. There was even a hint of anticipation in her voice. The guys nearby were instantly stunned. Damn, are my ears working right? Xiaotian, that cool, self-possessed beauty who never gave anyone the time of day, usually looked at everyone as if they owed her money. And now she was smiling so brightly at a guy. She was even speaking so gently. Has campus goddess Xiao lost her mind today? Under everyone's baffled, astonished stares, I slowly took my seat. I was sitting directly across from Xiaotian. Maybe it was my imagination, but the girl across from me seemed unbelievably happy. I did not dwell on it. I lowered my head and ate my shredded pork noodles. I tried to ignore everyone's wide-eyed stares. Then Xiaotian suddenly asked, "Why didn't you get any double-skin milk pudding?" I glanced around the tables. Sure enough, every other student had a cup. Everyone had one, except me. Mine was completely empty. As I chewed my noodles, I answered casually. They ran out. They were gone when it was my turn. Then I went back to eating. My luck had always been terrible anyway. Suddenly, a fair, delicate hand slid a milk pudding toward me. I froze. Then I looked up. The cafeteria was noisy. Xiaotian looked into my eyes and said unhurriedly, "Then you can have mine. I do not feel like having it anyway." I stared at the dessert she had pushed over. A strange feeling rose in my chest. I quietly said thanks. Then, from the corner of my eye, I spotted a cold, distant figure. My heart skipped a beat as I looked over. Bai Jie stood not far from me. She was glaring at me. Her face was icy. It felt as if she had frozen the air around us. Several girls stood behind her. One of them looked at me with contempt and said, "Why are you not over here eating with Sister Bai?" The barbed words hit me out of nowhere. My hands stopped moving. I knew this rich girl. Her name was Xianjun. She was a spoiled heiress. Her family had donated a building to get her into the school. Xianjun had pursued me during our first year of high school. After I gently turned her down, she flew into a rage. She badmouthed me to Bai Jie every day. She said I was a poor nobody who could not even recognize luxury brands. Someone from a family like mine was not worthy of Bai Jie. At the same time, another girl beside Bai Jie noticed me too. She called out to me lazily, "Hurry over here. Without you, no one is here to get us chopsticks." Bai Jie did not say a word the entire time. She was certain I would obediently go to her. She had never once stood up for me. She simply let those around her insult me. Beside me, Xiaotian went rigid. Her beautiful eyes turned cold as they fixed on Bai Jie. I patted Xiaotian's hand to show her it was fine. Then I exhaled deeply, then looked at Bai Jie. My tone was calm and serious. "From now on, I will not be eating with you anymore." I was not loud, but everyone nearby heard me clearly. Everyone was dumbfounded. They stared in disbelief. Everyone at school knew I was hopelessly obsessed with Bai Jie. I spent every day orbiting around her. I had chased her from high school into college. My devotion had seemed absolute. Why had I suddenly changed? Xianjun's mouth fell open. She could not believe it at all. Her voice shot up several octaves. "What did you just say?" With my eyes lowered, I repeated myself, "I will not follow you around anymore." But the moment I finished, Bai Jie's gaze turned frigid. Her face darkened, and her voice was ice cold. It carried a commanding edge. She said, one word at a time, "Xiao Ce, come here." But I remained firmly seated. I had no intention of getting up. Bai Jie's friends were completely stunned. No one expected me to actually refuse her. Had I lost my mind today? Or was I playing hard to get? Bai Jie's cold eyes cut into me. After a while, she turned and left without expression. She did not look back, as if nothing had happened. I finally exhaled once they were well out of sight. But after that scene, even lunch had lost its flavor. I kept my head down in silence. I was utterly dejected. I poked aimlessly at my bowl with my chopsticks, perhaps sensing the awkward atmosphere. The girls at our table started making conversation. "Xiaotian, you know this handsome guy?" Xiaotian smiled sweetly and answered seriously, "Let me officially introduce him to everyone. This is Xiao Ce. He is my..." She deliberately drew out the last word. My heart jolted. For some reason, it started racing. Everyone around us leaned in to listen. Their eyes sparkled with curiosity. After a pause, Xiaotian added, "He is my childhood friend. He was born 2 months before me. He's my childhood friend, the big brother I grew up with since we ran around naked as kids." The girls immediately looked jealous and envious. They were bitterly jealous. "That is so unfair. Why do we not have such a handsome childhood friend?" Xiaotian ignored their teasing looks. She merely curled her lips in a faint smile. Her roommate, Chen Shishi, joked, "Xiao Ce, since you are Xiaotian's childhood friend, that makes you a big brother to all of us too." Their enthusiasm was almost too much to handle. I was completely confused. Was that really how this worked? The girls all chimed in. "Xiao Ce is such a nice sounding name. Yeah, it sounds like the name of a romantic drama lead. Haha. Over the course of the meal, I could not help laughing. I could not help thinking that being with Xiaotian made mealtime feel truly easy and comfortable. Her friends were all so welcoming, unlike Bai Jie's wealthy friends, who were always ordering me around, constantly finding new ways to pick at me. Before, all I could do was play dumb. I pretended not to understand their mocking remarks. Only by comparison did I realize how exhausting my life had been before. Meanwhile, Bai Jie was in an awful mood. Throughout the meal, no one at her table dared so much as breathe. They were terrified of provoking her. Xianjun grumbled irritably behind her. Well, look at that. Xiao Ce sure moved on fast. Now he is clinging to Xiaotian. The moment she finished speaking, Bai Jie abruptly stood up. Her brows were tightly furrowed. Her face looked terrible. A sudden clap of thunder rang out. Lightning flashed right after. Then rain began pouring down without warning. Xianjun opened an umbrella and followed behind Bai Jie. She sneered with disdain. HMPH. I see what this is. Xiao Ce is playing hard to get. It is absolutely laughable. Another girl chimed in. Let us see how long he can keep this up. I bet he will come running back within a week. Xianjun shook her head. A week? I give him days before he shows his true colors. Just then, Bai Jie suddenly stopped, her expression freezing. Everyone followed her gaze. In the distance, a man and woman shared a black umbrella, their shoulders pressed together. They walked along laughing. They looked like a couple deeply in love. The rain draped them in a hazy beauty, making the moment especially intimate. When everyone looked closely, their eyes went wide. Were those not Xiao Ce and Xiaotian? After a moment, Xianjun narrowed her eyes. Well played. He is really committing to this act. He's really got some tricks up his sleeve. Sister Bai, do not let him fool you. Everyone knows Xiao Ce likes Bai Jie. He has chased her pathetically for years. Now that he knows he has no chance, he is probably trying some little trick. They all came from wealthy families. They had seen this tired routine plenty of times. Bai Jie stood perfectly still. Her gaze was sharp as a blade. Her face was darker than the storm clouds overhead. After a while, she turned and walked away coldly. Xianjun and the others hurried after her. The rain grew heavier. Xiaotian's dorm was quite far from the cafeteria. It was not on the way to mine either. Seeing she had no rain gear, I walked her back. Xiaotian stayed close beside me. She was practically leaning into my arms. Seeing that, I held out my arm. In a low voice, I said, link your arm with mine. Xiaotian froze. She slowly lifted her head. Her eyes were slightly bewildered. What? Looking into her eyes, I repeated myself. Link arms with me. The rain is too heavy. This way, you will not get soaked. Do girls not like walking arm in arm like this? Xiaotian lowered her head without answering. But inwardly, she was screaming. You big idiot. You know girls do that with each other. What guy and girl who are only classmates walk around holding hands and linking arms? Then, for some reason, something came to mind. I suddenly laughed. When we were kids, you always clung to my arms and neck. I could never shake you off. You even yelled that you would strangle me. You nearly skinned me alive. Have you forgotten all that? At that, Xiaotian looked up and rolled her eyes. That was ages ago, okay? Perhaps she truly feared getting drenched. After saying that, she softly agreed. As if possessed, she reached out and linked her arm through mine. She pressed tightly against me. She was close enough that I could smell her delicate fragrance. So close. Really. So close. I blinked. Then I realized I was holding the umbrella crooked. It was tilted entirely toward her. Xiaotian could not help reminding me. Your umbrella is tilted. You will get wet. I came back to myself and said lightly, oh, as long as you are not wet. Then I added offhandedly, I happen to like getting rained on. The words had barely left my mouth when the scene suddenly felt terribly familiar. The next second, my head buzzed with agonizing pain. My thoughts became a tangled mess. All strength drained from my body. I fell against Xiaotian. Scenes from my past life seemed to surface in my mind. That eerie night in my past life. Just before my 23rd birthday had ended, I finally received a birthday message from Bai Jie. My heart raced. Overjoyed, I opened the chat. The next second, I felt as if I had fallen into an ice pit. He is back from abroad. I am going to pick him up at the airport. The instant I saw those cold words, my face froze, and my stare went blank. My heart clenched painfully. He was the eldest son of the Qin family, Bai Jie's childhood friend. He was handsome and rich. Their families were a perfect match. After receiving that message, even knowing Bai Jie did not love that childhood friend, even knowing it was only for a family alliance, I still felt miserable, with bitterness filling my mouth. The sky opened up in a torrential downpour. Rain lashed mercilessly against my face. Then a red sedan, its headlights blinding, came speeding straight at me. It was about to hit me. I could not move, my face drained of color. At that instant, someone hugged me tightly from behind and pulled me backward as we fell. We narrowly missed the car. Dizzy and disoriented, I saw a familiar face before me. I froze. My voice caught in my throat. It was Xiaotian. At that moment, the air seemed to stop. It felt as if only the two of us remained in the world. Xiaotian looked anxious. She clutched her chest and gasped for breath. She wanted to speak, but could not get the words out. After a long silence, she finally spoke. It has been a long time. My eyes red-rimmed. I answered. It has been a long time. After Bai Jie and I got together, I barely kept in touch with Xiaotian. After graduation, we never even met again. Xiaotian picked up the black umbrella and held it over me. I just finished a concert. I happened to be passing by. Xiaotian paused, her voice stiff. With careful restraint, she murmured softly in my ear. At that moment, the tears I had held back all day finally spilled down. I had waited anxiously all day. I never received Bai Jie's greeting. Instead, I heard Xiaotian, whom I had not seen in years, say, "Happy birthday, Xiao Ce." This memory was clearer than those in my earlier dreams. The dizziness slowly faded. My heart ached. All the emotions from my past life came rushing back. My nose stung as I looked at Xiaotian. Xiaotian was only a freshman now. Yet one day, she would become the queen of Huaguo's music scene. All the bitterness of my past life flooded my heart. It crushed the breath from me. Xiaotian reached out her fair hand. She gently wiped the droplets from my face. "What is wrong? Tell me if something is bothering you. Do not carry it all alone. Do you hear me?" I nodded and quietly said, "It is nothing." Xiaotian's lips moved, but in the end, she said nothing. She lowered her lashes, hiding the flash of disappointment in her eyes. "Fine, look how upset you are. And you're still defending that Bai girl. Do you really like her that much?" I shook my head. "Not anymore." My voice was very soft. Without listening closely, she would not have heard it. But Xiaotian's fingers stiffened. "What did you say?" I looked into her eyes and said earnestly, "I do not like Bai Jie anymore." Each word struck the ground like a raindrop and struck deep into Xiaotian's heart. Time seemed to stop. Xiaotian's heart suddenly leaped. The corners of her lips lifted slightly. "Congratulations. You finally came to your senses." Secretly, she was overjoyed. She was glad she had finally waited for this moment. After walking Xiaotian back to her dorm, I returned to mine. Once I had sorted through my emotions, I opened the diary in my drawer. A photograph was pasted onto the first page. It was from the school anniversary performance. Bai Jie was sitting at the piano. She had an exceptional presence, aloof and refined. I could never forget the sight of her playing beneath the spotlight. One look, and I was completely captivated. From then on, I secretly kept an eye on her, but I was always too careful to get close. Bai Jie was the heiress of a wealthy family. Everyone treated her like a star. I was nothing more than an unnoticed speck of dust on the ground. Then one day, I was caught in a downpour on my way to rehearsal. A luxury car suddenly stopped in front of me. The window rolled down. Bai Jie fixed me with her exquisite eyes. Her voice was cool and distant. "Get in." I heard no guy had ever ridden in her car. No one had ever gotten her contact information, either. Yet I was the exception. Perhaps that special treatment gave me the wrong idea. When the school anniversary celebration ended, I happened to hear a girl ask what kind of guy she liked. Bai Jie's calm voice drifted through the crack in the door. Someone proactive, enthusiastic, and obedient. So I threw caution to the wind. Summoning all my courage, I openly pursued her. Looking back, it was incredibly foolish. If Bai Jie did not like me, she could have rejected me just as she rejected everyone else. Quickly and decisively. Instead, just when I was about to give up, she would send me another mixed signal, leaving me with a tiny sliver of hope. Because of that little bit of hope, I offered her my sincere heart and all my passion, only to be drenched in cold water and left battered beyond recognition. Real life is not a novel. How could a poor boy ever truly win a rich, beautiful heiress? At that thought, I threw the diary into the trash. Then I unlocked my phone. Without the slightest hesitation, I deleted Bai Jie and all her friends from my contacts. It was time to put an end to everything. I would never make the same mistake again. I lay in bed and pulled the covers over myself. For the first time, I felt so light and free. I drifted into a hazy sleep. Fragments of my past life flickered through my dream. A beautiful voice sounded beside my ear. My memories were a complete mess. I could only vaguely make out a familiar woman staring at me. She said with absolute seriousness, "You were never dust. You are the brightest star of all." The next afternoon, my roommate Liu and I both played in the basketball game. On the court, Liu looked astonished. Lowering his voice, he asked me, "You are not messing with me, are you? You really do not like Bai Jie anymore? Did you not say you were going to do maintenance on her piano today? I thought you would skip basketball today." I nodded and looked at him. "Really? I swear it is true." Liu lifted his chin. "I have disliked that woman for a long time. But since you were so crazy about her, I held back from bad-mouthing her. Now I can finally tear into her as much as I want. She wears a sour expression every day, like a walking refrigerator. And when those friends of hers throw passive-aggressive digs right in my face, they are absolutely unbearable." Liu spoke with great conviction. His eyes were practically shooting fire. "See, am I right?" I nodded without answering. As soon as he finished speaking, the guys around us suddenly erupted. "Oh my god, the campus beauty, Bai Jie, actually came to watch the game. Did she just glance this way?" I glanced toward the stands. This game was a competition between the departments, the School of Economics and Management versus the School of Information. But at that moment, every spectator was focused on the stands. The two campus beauties were in the same frame. They instantly drew the attention of countless guys. Bai Jie met my eyes from nearby. Her icy expression softened considerably. The girls behind her also noticed where I was looking. Their eyes were filled with contempt. They wore smug expressions, as if they had expected this. I told you he would not keep up the act for long. He was still desperately waiting for Sister Bai to show up. Xianjun grinned. Obviously, once the game ends, he will come running over like a little lapdog. The next second, Liu suddenly slapped my shoulder. Xiao Ce, is that your childhood sweetheart? I was just about to turn and look. The girls below suddenly craned their necks and screamed wildly. Oh my god, the student council president is here. He is so handsome. He is even more handsome than my favorite idol. His looks are unbelievable. Hey, that handsome guy from information technology is pretty good looking too. The new male students this year are seriously impressive. Which of them do you think is better? Only children make choices. I want both. Xianjun gazed at Xianjun with shining eyes. HMPH. Why even ask? Of course Brother Jie is better. He has trained with professional coaches since childhood. He even joined a youth training team in middle school. He is incredibly cool. Bai Jie, beside her, nodded slightly. Her fair hand gripped the bottle of water tightly. Then she shifted her gaze away from Xianjun and looked toward me on the other side. But there were so many people that I could not find where Xiaotian was sitting. When I casually swept my gaze around, I unexpectedly locked eyes with Bai Jie again. I looked for 2 seconds, then turned away and continued searching. Xiaotian, in the stands, froze. She followed my gaze. Only Bai Jie was sitting there. Xiaotian pressed her lips together. Why did he not look at me? He was looking at Bai Jie again. You jerk, Xiao Ce. You said you did not like her anymore. It was all a lie. Seeing this, she felt the air around her turn bitter. Of course, after all these years, she should have gotten used to it. Her roommate, Chen Shishi, noticed that something was wrong. What is wrong? Xiaotian, are you feeling down? Xiaotian lowered her head and said nothing. But the next second, I suddenly spotted her. Our eyes met. Xiaotian froze. Then she raised her arm, her eyes curving with a smile. 2 adorable dimples appeared at the corners of her mouth. She smiled like a flower in full bloom. She silently mouthed, "Go for it." At the sight of that, the corners of my lips lifted uncontrollably. It felt like fireworks exploding in my heart. My heart raced wildly. My face grew hot. I could only pretend to cough and nod. Then I looked around, trying to hide my panic. When the whistle blew, the game officially began. I reacted quickly. I snatched the ball at once. Xiaotian watched me on the court with a beaming smile. I moved like an eagle locked onto its prey. Every move I made had a roguish, effortless charm. The basketball seemed fused to my hand. It obeyed my every command. The ball dropped cleanly through the hoop. My very first shot was a 3-pointer. That shot set the entire court on fire. Xiaotian watched the basketball without blinking. But the ball acted like a mischievous little rascal, flying from one guy's hands to another, before obediently returning to me. The ball traced a beautiful arc and swished through the net again. The competition grew fierce. Both sides were evenly matched. Everyone applauded after each basket. The action was dazzling. It was impossible to tell which side the crowd was cheering for. Xianjun, however, remained completely composed. He seemed not to care about winning or losing. He casually sank a shot. His form was flawless. Tall, lean, and elegant, he had an impressive presence. Wow. It went in. The people around them began cheering. Some of the girls even blushed. They usually saw Xianjun sing and give speeches, but they had never seen him play basketball. They never expected him to look so cool and stylish on the court. Xianjun gave his admirers an expressionless glance. Then his gaze suddenly stopped on Xiaotian. Her smile was so sweet. Her whole being radiated warmth and liveliness. Xianjun's heart lurched. How could there be such an innocent, captivating girl in the world? Unfortunately, her gaze was not fixed on him. Xianjun frowned. Following Xiaotian's gaze, he looked toward me. At that moment, I was smiling and waving at Xiaotian. I did not notice the 2 other icy glares at all. Below the court, Bai Jie clenched both hands tightly. Her nails dug into her flesh. The game continued. Xianjun gave a nearby teammate a meaningful look. The teammate understood immediately. He immediately closed in and quietly boxed me in. He deliberately pressed against me. He used subtle moves to limit where I could run. He set dirty screens, but he kept it measured. He kept skirting the edge of a foul. It was one of their usual dirty tricks. Of course, Xianjun could not do something like that himself. I had long noticed the scheme of the 2 men around me. I shook them off. Soon, the game reached its final moments. The ball flew from my hands like a shooting star. The next second, it dropped cleanly through the hoop. The winner was decided. The entire court erupted. The Information Technology School won by 2 points. The weight in Xiaotian's heart finally lifted. She let out a long sigh of relief. Her clear eyes sparkled brightly. But perhaps it was only her imagination. She kept feeling that 2 pairs of eyes were watching her. One gaze was scorching. The other was icy. Yet, When she looked up, she could not find anyone watching her. Just then, Chen Shishi shoved an unopened bottle of water into Yao Xiaotian's hands. Yao Xiaotian looked up blankly, utterly confused. Chen Shishi gave a mischievous giggle. "Hurry up and take some water to your childhood sweetheart." After saying that, she clutched her stomach and dashed toward the restroom. "I feel it coming. This time, it is going to be a big one. Do not wait for me." Yao Xiaotian adorably looked down at the water. Then she looked up at me dribbling in the distance. He does not seem to be looking at Bai Jie anymore. Yao Xiaotian made up her mind. Having just finished playing, I really was a little thirsty. My eyes kept drifting toward a certain little bunny. The little bunny was holding a bottle of water, edging toward me bit by bit. She looked incredibly cute. My throat tightened. I could not describe what I was feeling. Li was drenched in sweat. He was dog-tired. He said casually, "I will get you a bottle of water. I am dying of thirst." I refused outright. "No need. I am not drinking." A few girls nearby noticed I had no water. They quickly fixed their hair and came over to politely offer me water. They smiled especially sweetly. "Hey, classmate, you played amazingly. Would you like some water? Could I get your contact information? I am from the information technology school too." Without looking up, I turned them down. "Sorry, I am not drinking." I had not even seen what they looked like. I pushed through the crowd and ran toward Yao Xiaotian. Suddenly, a figure stepped in front of me. I could not see who it was. Thinking it was Yao Xiaotian, I reached out to take the water. I had a smile on my face. I scratched my head with my right hand. Bai Jie, who had blocked my path to offer me water, curled her lips in triumph. She looked confident as a proud queen. The moment she offered me the water with her right hand, I finally saw who it was. I quickly pulled my hand back in shock. My mind completely froze. For a moment, I did not know what to say. Several yards away, Yao Xiaotian suddenly stopped. She gripped her water bottle tightly. A bitter smile appeared on her face. Then she turned and walked toward the exit. Sorry. My hand slipped just now. I offered an explanation. Then I hurried after her. But all I saw was the back of Yao Xiaotian's head as she walked out the entrance. After eating, I returned to the dorm. The moment I opened the door, my roommates all turned in unison. They stared at me strangely. Completely confused, I asked, "What are you doing? Why so serious?" And Yikan looked at me and asked, "Xiao Ce, give us a straight answer. Are you really done pursuing Bai Jie?" I nodded without saying anything. Everyone at school knew that I used to pursue Bai Jie. It was hardly a secret. Who knew how many people mocked me behind my back? And Yikan looked up and picked up several tarot cards. With a solemn expression, he said, "Actually, I had already read the cards about the fated bond between you and Bai Jie, but you were so enthusiastic about pursuing her that I could not bring myself to tell you. Do you want to hear it now?" And Yikan loved fortune-telling. He studied all kinds of mysticism and spent all day tinkering with tarot cards in the room. I nodded and looked at him. "Go ahead." And Yikan sighed. The results showed that if you two became a couple, the ending would be disastrous. It might even destroy your entire career. After thinking for a moment, he added, "But this is not 100% accurate. It is pretty mysterious. Believe it or not, it is up to you." I pressed my lips together. "I believe it." Suddenly, Liu leaned over curiously. "Bro, read my fortune too. Will I find a girlfriend in my freshman year? When will I meet my future wife?" And Yikan agreed. He shuffled the cards and read his fortune. Liu nervously rubbed his hands. "Well, how is it?" And Yikan studied the cards and pursed his lips. He patted Liu's shoulder reassuringly. "Bro, you may have to stay single a while longer." As soon as he said that, Liu clutched his chest in agony. He quickly grabbed a potato chip and pretended to slit his wrist. "They say if you cannot find someone in your freshman year, you will stay single throughout college. Looks like I am destined to be single since birth." Then I spoke again. "Yikan, can you read someone else's fortune for me?" And Yikan nodded. "Yao Xiaotian, right? Give me her information." Before long, and Yichen's brows drew tighter and tighter. "Wait, for this one, I need to use another method. Tortoiseshells, bamboo sticks, playing cards, and astrology charts." He tried every method, Chinese and Western. After more than 10 minutes, his expression grew increasingly solemn. "Xiao Ce, you and Yao Xiaotian were destined by heaven. You are a perfect match. In your previous life and this one, and even in your next life, there is a very good chance you will be together." My roommates immediately surrounded me. They interrogated me about everything concerning Yao Xiaotian, her height, weight, family background, and personality. They asked about every last detail. The lights went out at 11. I was on my phone, looking through study materials. Suddenly, my phone vibrated. It was a message from Yao Xiaotian. "When are you taking me out for a meal?" I was a little confused when I saw the message. I could not remember agreeing to that. No matter how hard I tried, though I had no recollection of it, I still replied, "How about tomorrow at noon? What do you want to eat? Your choice." The next day, after all my classes ended, I hurried to the top floor of the cafeteria. Classes had just let out, and it was packed. Long lines stretched from every food counter. "Xiao Ce," a sweet voice suddenly called from behind me. I turned around and saw Yao Xiaotian standing there, waving at me. I walked over and sat down. I glanced at the soup dumplings on the table. You already bought everything. Xiaotian replied softly. I did not have class for my last 2 periods, so I came early. I looked at her in confusion and asked, did we not agree that I was paying today? Xiaotian picked up a dumpling and said with a smile, it is enough that you wanted to. How could I really let you spend money on me? Before she had even finished speaking, I casually slid a milk tea in front of her. I passed a drink shop earlier, so I picked this up for you. I said it as though it were nothing. Xiaotian accepted the cup. Her fingers unconsciously tightened around it. Jasmine taro green milk tea, medium with ice. It was her favorite drink. If I remembered correctly, that shop was far from my dorm, completely out of my way. Xiaotian lowered her head and took a sip. The taro paste was fragrant and smooth. Its sweetness warmed her heart at once. It is so good. I raised a brow, secretly delighted. As long as you like it. Xiaotian slowly shifted her gaze to my face. I quickly lowered my head, pretending nothing had happened. Xiaotian suddenly giggled. Then she softly called my name. Xiao Ce. My heart skipped a beat. I answered, what are you laughing about? Resting her cheek in her hand, Xiaotian teased me with a smile. Do you know it is painfully obvious when you sneak looks at someone? I immediately remembered what happened in the cafeteria 2 days ago. I quickly changed the subject. Thanks for getting me out of that mess 2 days ago. At that, Xiaotian's eyes became complicated. After considering it for a moment, she curled her lips and said, if you really want to thank me, spend a day at the amusement park with me this weekend. Smiling, I nodded and agreed. Meanwhile, someone in the corner secretly photographed us sitting together. In a dim hallway, a girl suddenly cried out, oh my god, Bai Jie, look. Bai Jie frowned and stared at her coldly. The girl scratched her head and explained. Xiao Ce went to eat with another girl again. The next second, there was a sharp crash. Bai Jie stopped walking. The glass in her hand fell and shattered on the floor. She was in an awful mood. The girl quickly caught on. She enlarged the photo and held the phone right before Bai Jie's eyes. My friend took this. Xiao Ce is really having a meal with another girl. Bai Jie stared at my smiling face in the photo. Her eyes were cold as frost. A girl nearby muttered softly, he already rejected all of us. Maybe he will not come back anymore. The moment she heard that, Bai Jie's expression darkened instantly. Her tone was icy and absolute. She said, word by word, impossible. Xiao Ce likes me far too much. He has chased me for years. How could he possibly just walk away for good? Song Xinyu, standing beside her, scoffed disdainfully. HMPH. He is just playing hard to get on purpose. Do not take it seriously. Bai Jie's birthday is coming up. Let us deliberately not invite him. He will be frantic. The other girls chimed in. Exactly. I overheard Xiao secretly preparing a birthday gift for Bai Jie. Everyone around them burst out laughing. When Bai Jie heard that, her brows finally began to relax. Much of the anger in her heart subsided. She firmly believed I could never leave her. Before long, Sunday arrived. The amusement park entrance was full of adults and children. It was packed wall to wall. Xiaotian looked around like a wide-eyed child, amazed by everything. Every now and then, she gasped in amazement. I walked over and asked her, what do you want to ride first? Xiaotian froze for a moment. After deliberating for a while, she pointed at the nearest attraction and said, can we ride the bumper cars? I nodded. Xiaotian chose a pale yellow car and climbed in. Her heart raced wildly. Her eyes shone with anticipation. A bell rang, and the ride began. Xiaotian gripped the steering wheel tightly. She was still figuring out the accelerator and reverse. Someone slammed into her from behind. She was completely stunned. She turned to see who had done it. I was right behind her. I even smiled and waved at her. Xiaotian took a deep breath. Fuming, she floored the accelerator. She yanked desperately at the steering wheel, determined to crash into me back. But halfway through the turn, there was another bang. The impact knocked her body sideways. I gently bumped her from the side. Compared to the hard hit before, this felt more like I was teasing her. When I saw that she did not react, I mischievously nudged her again. This time, rather than a collision, it was more like a gentle brush. Xiaotian's little face was tense. She looked up into my eyes. Her voice carried a hint of grievance and a touch of pleading. Xiao Ce, stop bumping into me. Over the course of the day, we went on every ride in the park. That evening, inside the most lavish private room at DGK TV, the huge chandelier swayed, making everyone's head spin. Bai Jie sat in the center, listening to the rowdy singing. She grew unbearably irritated. Frowning, she snapped, shut up, all of you. You are so loud. The private room fell silent at once. The lively mood vanished in an instant. The room turned cold as an ice cellar. It felt as though they would freeze to death any second. Everyone stared at one another. No one even dared breathe too loudly. None of them could fathom this young heiress's thoughts. The guest of honor was unhappy. So naturally, They did not dare say a word. They had celebrated her birthday the same way last year. It had been quite lively. Though Miss Bai was usually aloof, she had genuinely been in a good mood that day. What had gotten into her today? Compared to last year, everything was exactly the same, except one person was missing. Then a girl cautiously spoke up. Her voice was as quiet as a mosquito's buzz. Why do we not invite Xiao Ce? Everyone watched Bai Jie's expression. At those words, Bai Jie finally reacted. She nodded in agreement. The girl understood immediately. She quickly took out her phone and typed. Xianjun huffed, clearly displeased. Bai Jie, Xiao Ce is surely waiting for us to beg him to come. Would that not mean falling right into his trap? Others nearby echoed her. Exactly. The more we ignore him, the more it will eat away at him. Bai Jie was silent for a moment. She swept an icy gaze over them. Tell him to come. Only then did the girl tap send. The next second, her eyes widened. Staring at the screen, she said in disbelief. Xiao Ce, he actually. Xianjun put her hands on her hips, looking unconcerned. What is it? Did he reply right away? The girl shook her head, looking stunned. No, he blocked me. The moment she said that, everyone thought of the same possibility. They all pulled out their phones to contact me. What the hell? He blocked me too. Why did he block me too? I have barely even spoken to him. No need to ask. He blocked all of us. Only Bai Jie had not messaged him yet. They exchanged glances. They vaguely sensed the truth, yet could not quite believe it. It still did not seem real. I might dare block anyone else, but I would never dare block Bai Jie. Bai Jie opened her phone. Expressionlessly, she scrolled through their old messages. Her lovely eyes narrowed slightly. The chat history was mostly me talking to myself, but I had not messaged her often, nor did I send meaningless nonsense. Every message was courteous, especially polite. I was terrified of upsetting her. As for her replies, they were cold as a machine without feelings. Either O or single period. Otherwise, she simply ignored me. Bai Jie frowned. She typed a question mark and hit send. No matter what, I should not have, the day before her birthday, blocked every girl around her. This was utterly ridiculous. But the next second, a bright red exclamation mark popped up. It was painfully glaring, like a sharp blade stabbing straight into her eyes. The message had not gone through. The recipient had rejected it. She had definitely been blocked. If he had only deleted her, it would have said she needed verification. Bai Jie stared hard at the screen. Her face was dark enough to drip with gloom. Her proud, aloof expression finally cracked. Seeing her expression, everyone's heart skipped a beat. No way. Xiao Ce actually dared block Bai Jie. No one had ever heard of such a reckless move. Someone must be advising him behind the scenes. Under the dim KTV lights, half of Bai Jie's face was hidden in shadow. Her gaze was ice-cold. Her voice was freezing. Call him from a new number. Xianjun quickly took out her phone. After hesitating, she said awkwardly, I do not think any of us saved his number. Without a thought, Bai Jie recited a string of digits. Only after Xianjun placed the call did everyone slowly realize that Bai Jie knew Xiao Ce's number by heart. Meanwhile, at the amusement park, I was waiting in a long restroom line. The restroom line was as long as one for a roller coaster. Xiaotian was resting nearby with my phone. Then the phone suddenly rang. It was an unknown number. Xiaotian glanced at it and did not plan to answer. It was probably a scam call, but it kept ringing again and again. It seemed too urgent to ignore. Only then did Xiaotian answer it. Xianjun's scolding voice immediately came through. Her tone was extremely rude. Xiao Ce, you have some nerve. You actually dared block all of us. At that, Xiaotian narrowed her beautiful eyes. Her face went cold. Xianjun, who do you think you are talking to? The call was on speaker in the private room. Xiaotian's voice rang clearly in everyone's ears. Everyone was dumbfounded. Why was it Xiaotian again? Why was Xiaotian answering Xiao Ce's phone? Bai Jie's face darkened. She snatched the phone away. Her voice was terrifyingly cold. Put Xiao Ce on the phone. For the next 2 seconds, no one spoke. Xiaotian gave a mocking laugh. What did you say? Bai Jie gritted her teeth and repeated herself. Tell Xiao Ce to come take the call. The next second, Xiaotian hung up on her. The private room was so silent, no one dared breathe. Everyone lowered their heads and played dead. Bai Jie's gaze was cold to the extreme. Xiao Ce had not only blocked her, but had immediately become so clingy with another woman. Xianjun clutched her phone. Her mind raced. The noise on the call had been chaotic. They were probably out somewhere. Should I find out what those two are doing? Bai Jie forced out one word through clenched teeth. Go. 5 minutes later, Xianjun was startled. Oh, damn, I found out. They went to that newly opened amusement park. Seeing that Bai Jie was in a terrible mood, Xianjun's eyes shifted as she hurriedly said, I think Xiao Ce is doing this on purpose. He is putting on an act to prove he does not care. Besides, tomorrow is the actual day. He will not be able to help himself. He will come with a gift. The others chimed in thoughtlessly. Exactly. The more we ignore him, the more anxious he will get. Bai Jie lowered her eyes. a strange panic rising in her heart. It felt as if she had lost something precious. No, why should she panic? The loved one always has the upper hand. Xiao Ce is only throwing a tantrum. He deliberately asked his childhood friend to put on this act and test me. Bai Jie's voice became calm again. He will regret this. Everyone hurriedly echoed her. Definitely. He will regret it bitterly. Xianjun slipped off to the restroom. Inwardly, she sneered. She knew perfectly well that Bai Jie would only push him farther away. That icy woman relied on her family's money. Who does she think she is? Walking around with that sour face all day. She admitted Bai Jie was impressive, but she had the emotional intelligence of a brick. She always needed people to flatter and coax her. Was that not completely ridiculous? Xianjun gave a cold snort. Meanwhile, I came out of the restroom. I noticed a balloon vendor nearby. Xiaotian had kept staring at them since we entered. So I went over and bought one. I walked over to her and handed her the sparkling balloon. Xiaotian froze. Is this for me? I nodded. Taking her hand, I tied the string around her wrist. Pointing at the children with balloons nearby, I teased. See, that is how little kids play with them. Xiaotian paused. She blinked and softly protested. But I am not a child anymore. She swung her arm, and the balloon bounced wildly with it. The glittering pieces inside flashed so brightly they dazzled her eyes. Then Xiaotian looked at me and casually mentioned, "Oh, right? Bai Jie and the others called you earlier." After saying that, she fixed her eyes on me. Calmly, I scratched my head. I do not know what they wanted. Probably nothing good. I did not want anything more to do with them. I took back my phone and blocked that number without hesitation. I did not feel a thing. Watching my string of actions, Xiaotian could not help smiling. Come on, let us go back to school. By the time we got off, it was already pitch dark. We still had some distance to walk back to campus. Seeing how exhausted Xiaotian was, I suggested, "Let me give you a piggyback ride." Xiaotian stared at me. "No need. We will be there soon." But I crouched down right in front of her. There was stubbornness in my posture. Xiaotian could not help smiling. She bent down and tapped my forehead. Then she gently said, "Then hurry up." Still crouching, I looked up at her. "You have to let me carry you on my back." Xiaotian froze. Was this a dream? Remembering something, I raised a brow and said, "Did you not ride on my back all the time when we were kids? Or would you rather I carry you bridal style?" At the thought of being carried in his arms, Xiaotian remembered the walk after they left the haunted house. Her ears immediately turned red. Her legs even went a little weak. In the end, she had no choice. "Then carry me on your back." After thinking it over, he used to be my personal right anyway. There was nothing to be embarrassed about. Xiaotian let it go. She took a deep breath and climbed onto my back. Her arms wrapped tightly around my neck. My body stiffened. "You are so light." Through their thin clothes, Xiaotian could feel the heat from my body, slowly seeping into her skin. It made her heart tremble. Even the air around them seemed hotter. Our breaths intertwined. With every step, we pressed closer together. It sent a soft tickle through her. Lying on my broad back, Xiaotian drifted into a daze. She murmured by my ear, "You are so hard." I stopped abruptly, certain I had misheard. "What did you say?" She did not realize how that sounded. Sweetly, she repeated herself, "Your back is too hard. It is digging into me. It is so uncomfortable." I carried her onward. I gave an awkward little "oh." I had clearly said nothing, yet somehow, I had said everything. Xiaotian held her breath for 2 seconds. Her face instantly went scarlet. Her grip was choking me. My Adam's apple bobbed as I reminded her, "Xiaotian, are you trying to strangle me?" Only then did the girl on my back realize it. She quickly loosened her grip. "Sorry, I am sorry." Her soft body pressed against my back. This was far more intimate than before. I kept my mouth shut. I knew these thoughts were wrong. I desperately tried to ignore the sensation behind me, but the more I tried, the clearer it became. So soft. I walked faster and faster. All I could think about was that softness. Xiaotian lay against me, and immediately noticed my bright red ears, as if she had discovered a new world. Her eyes lit up. She reached out to touch behind my ear. The instant her fingertips touched me, I felt electrocuted and nearly jumped. Holding myself back, I scolded her under my breath. "What are you doing? Do not move around." Though I was scolding her, there was not an ounce of force behind it. Xiaotian obediently nodded. Staring at the back of my head, she seriously said, "Xiao Ce, your ears are completely red. They have been that way since I touched you." Without expression, I made up an excuse. "They are naturally red." Xiaotian simply said, "Oh." With burning ears, I raced back to the school gate with her on my back. I gently set her down and steadied her. But the balloon on her wrist was eye-catching. It glittered brightly. Quite a few students turned to stare as we passed. They thought we were showing off our romance. After a full day out, I returned to my dorm exhausted. The moment I sat down, my phone rang again. An unknown number. I answered. There was silence on the other end. I politely asked, "Who is this?" The caller urgently said, "Xiao Ce. We're in private room 18 at Diju." The moment I recognized Xianjun's voice. Before she could finish, I hung up then blocked her number without a second thought. Then I put my phone on charge and took a shower. On the other end, the luxury suite felt ice cold. Seeing Bai Jie's dark expression, Xianjun hurriedly tried to smooth things over. It is Xiao Ce's loss if he does not come. Does he really think we cannot do without him? The others echoed her. Exactly. He really thinks he is something special. Bai Jie's voice was terrifyingly cold. Get out, all of you. Get out. The room fell silent at once. Bai Jie was the heiress of a wealthy family. She was usually aloof and composed. She had never once lost her composure. Yet today, she lost her temper in public. Everyone wisely left. She was left there alone. She scrolled through their chat history. She found the image from last year's birthday. It was my handwritten birthday message. But when she opened it, the system said the image had expired. She stared blankly at those words. A strange ache filled her heart. Expired, she murmured. Midnight passed. Bai Jie's phone was full of birthday wishes, except for one from me. She suddenly threw down her phone. Hugging her knees, she curled up on the floor. Her heart felt hollow. Her voice trembled as she asked, "Why does it still hurt? I should be used to it by now. Used to birthdays without my parents. Used to being nothing but a tool for a marriage alliance. Used to everyone else's fake kindness. Now, it seemed she had lost the only person who had ever loved her sincerely." Bai Jie hugged her knees tighter. He will not come back. His childhood friend had beaten her to him. At the mention of childhood friends, Bai Jie sprang to her feet. She looked at her disheveled reflection. Quickly, she composed herself. Xiao Ce will definitely come back. The next day was her birthday. There were so many gifts, they would not fit on the table. Everyone was envious. Expressionless, Bai Jie opened the gift boxes, but there was no card or gift from me. Her face turned cold. She told Song Xinyu to throw them all away. Song Xinyu searched for ages, but found nothing from me. How strange. The girls nearby were puzzled too. Bai Jie's blade-sharp stare made them shiver. The moment class ended, someone tried to confess to her. Bai Jie walked away with a cold expression. Song Xinyu followed after her. They were not heading toward the cafeteria. They looked more like they were going to settle a score. I was alone in the classroom, studying for a competition. After finishing my practice problems, I went downstairs. I was debating what to eat. Then I ran into Bai Jie around the corner. I had a bad feeling. She was always so high and mighty, always needing to be coaxed. But I did not like her anymore. After one glance at each other, I told her to move. Bai Jie stared at me, frozen in place. Song Xinyu arrogantly demanded, "Why did you block us?" I calmly said, "We have no relationship anymore." Bai Jie stepped closer, unable to believe it. I turned and walked away, but someone grabbed my wrist. She was a germaphobe. She had never initiated contact before. Yet now, she had grabbed me. "Can you stop acting like this?" Just then, Xiaotian rushed over and slapped Bai Jie's hand away. "Stay away from him." Xiaotian tugged on my sleeve. Bai Jie took one look, then left. I wondered why Xiaotian had come. She said someone told her Bai Jie was looking for me, so she came over. Then she pulled me away to eat. On the stairs, Bai Jie's expression was awful. Song Xinyu said, "Xiao Ce is just throwing a tantrum. He is trying to provoke us. He will definitely come back." Bai Jie regained her composure. She decided I was just sulking. I had once said I did not like Xiaotian. I would only ever like Bai Jie. Once I calmed down, I would come back. At the mansion, Bai Jie dismissed all the servants. Her mood was utterly wretched. Miss usually kept her emotions hidden. It was strange to see her so furious today. Bai Jie clenched her fist. Thinking of another woman pulling me along made her chest ache for no reason. She opened her bag and found a brown scarf. There was no name on it, but she thought I had given it to her. Bai Jie finally felt reassured. I liked her that much. How could I not give her a gift? The next day, the temperature dropped. The scarf made Bai Jie look even more regal and refined. Everyone on the forum praised her. One boy rubbed his eyes. Wasn't that the scarf he had sent her? It cost only 9 yuan 90, shipping included. He had not even signed his name. He thought it would be thrown away. He never expected her to wear it. The girls around Bai Jie were stunned. The thing looked cheap at a glance, but they did not dare ask. Song Xinyu deliberately said loudly, "The scarf Xiao Ce gave you is really lovely. He is trying to win you over." Bai Jie merely gave a faint hum. Xiaotian froze outside the restroom. Her heart twisted painfully with jealousy. Rain poured outside. She remembered how obsessed I had once been with Bai Jie, tutoring her, giving her gifts, always by her side. She knew it all, but she had no right to ask, much less any right to be jealous. Xiaotian swallowed hard several times. Her eyes brimmed with undisguisable hurt. Then she lowered her head and quietly left. All she could think of were the words I said in the rain that day, that I would never like Bai Jie again. Remembering that moment, Xiaotian closed her eyes and let out a long breath. At last, Her emotions settled somewhat. Given Xiao Ce's stubborn streak, he would never keep chasing someone who treated him coldly. Something must have gone wrong. She planned to find a chance to quietly get to the bottom of it because she understood me so well. She chose to trust me unconditionally. Third period that afternoon was an elective I had signed up for. It was the first class. At the start of term, just to be near Bai Jie, I had fought hard to get a place in it. I sighed to myself. I entered right on time. The classroom was packed with around 100 students. As always, Bai Jie and her group had claimed the front row. They had deliberately left an empty seat beside them. The instant I entered, all their eyes locked onto me. Bai Jie slightly lifted her eyes toward me. She wanted to see the expression on my face, but she was disappointed. My face showed nothing. I did not even give her a proper look. I simply strolled to the last row and sat down, quiet as if I were invisible, as though everything from before was over. Bai Jie's gaze suddenly froze. An inexplicable emptiness filled her heart. This elective was rather dull. Everyone was doing their own thing. The guy beside me had spent the whole class playing Fight the Landlord. During the break, the teacher took a sip of water to clear his throat. Then he announced from the podium, "There will be no final exam. You will write a paper instead. The requirements have all been posted online. You must work in pairs. Find your own partner. Once you have one, come get a form and register." The moment he finished speaking, the boys stared at Bai Jie like starving wolves eyeing meat. A few bolder ones had already gone over to chat her up. They asked if she had a partner. Bai Jie did not even raise her head. She coldly gave them one word: yes. The boys could only slink away. A few minutes passed. The atmosphere around Bai Jie was terrifyingly cold. It felt cold enough for ice to fall from the air. Xianjun gritted her teeth and reassured her. "Do not worry. Xiao Ce will come begging to team up with you soon." Hearing that, Bai Jie's expression softened a little. But after waiting ages, she did not see me make a move. Bai Jie lost the last of her patience. When she saw me happily chatting with the student beside me, she could not sit still any longer. She abruptly stood up. I was talking to a student from the medical school. Suddenly, I sensed a tall figure approaching. She brought an icy chill with her, like an iceberg. Step by step, she closed in. I suddenly had a bad feeling. When I looked up, Bai Jie was already standing at my desk. She was very close. Her icy presence engulfed me. Everyone craned their necks to watch the drama. The classroom erupted at once. Who did not know Bai Jie? She was the campus beauty from a top-tier wealthy family, and the fact that I used to be her lapdog was a joke everyone at school knew about. From the day I enrolled, I spent every day following her around, like her personal lackey. The boys pursuing her could have formed a line from the gate to the cafeteria. But who was Bai Jie? She was a moon beyond anyone's reach. Someone ordinary people did not dare even dream of. But today, the impossible had happened. Bai Jie had actually lowered herself to come find me. It was unbelievable. Bai Jie stood there. She looked calm enough, but an unreadable emotion flickered through her beautiful eyes. She even deliberately showed off, adjusting the brown scarf around her neck. Then she said to me, one word at a time, "Let us team up." After hearing her, I leaned back. Not a ripple stirred in my heart. Without hesitation, I quietly refused. I do not want to. I did not speak loudly, but every person heard me loud and clear. He actually dared say no. How was that possible? Everyone in the room was dumbstruck. They practically leaned in to hear every juicy detail. Oh my god, this was way too wild. The words had barely left my mouth when Bai Jie suddenly stepped forward. Her usual icy composure instantly shattered. Her face darkened as if she had heard something absurd. "Say that again." I quietly leaned farther back. Then I repeated myself carefully. "I do not want to." After that, I looked away. I did not look to see her reaction again. The students nearby were stunned speechless. It felt as though the air had frozen solid. Bai Jie stood there stiffly. Her face was as dark as soot. Everyone around them was shocked beyond words. Xiao Ce had actually dumped Bai Jie, and he said no twice in a row. That took some nerve. Then the bell rang. Bai Jie gave a cold laugh. Her presence was utterly intimidating. Before leaving, she threw out a threat. "Xiao Ce, my patience is limited." With a dark expression, she returned to the front row. Her friends looked at one another. Their eyes said just two words: complete shock. That lapdog who used to trail after Bai Jie every day had actually walked away just like that. How could that be? Had he not worked desperately to get in here just to pursue Bai Jie? Was he not afraid of ruining everything? Bai Jie sat in her seat. Half her face was hidden in shadow. She looked increasingly frightening, like a winter downpour laced with ice. She made everyone's skin crawl. At that moment, a girl beside her cautiously tried to console her. "Bai Jie, please calm down." Bai Jie shot her an icy sideways glance. Her eyes were full of menace. The girl broke into a cold sweat and quickly corrected herself. All right, you are not angry. Fine, I'm the one getting irrationally angry here, okay?" After a while, the girl began analyzing the situation again. "Your tone was too harsh just now. You sounded like you were giving orders." Of course he would not like that. Bai Jie pondered her words. Her resolve wavered for a second, but she quickly returned to her stubborn ways. "He has feelings for me. Sooner or later, he will come back and beg me. She believed the scarf around her neck was her strongest bargaining chip. He must be thinking about me all the time. Why else would he sneak a gift into my bag? He must still care about me, care about my birthday. He only wants me to give in and comfort him. The more Bai Jie thought about it, the more certain she became that she was right. The girl beside her could only roll her eyes. She felt she was completely wasting her breath. Even those who had thought I would come back were starting to have their doubts. Had Bai Jie become a little too full of herself? Everyone felt her confidence would eventually collapse in spectacular fashion. In the women's dormitory, Xianjun bounced over to Xiaotian with her phone, deliberately playing coy. Xiaotian, quick! Look at the forum. There is some massive gossip. You are guaranteed to find it interesting. She stuffed potato chips into her mouth as she spoke. Her face was full of smug delight. Xiaotian normally never looked at this kind of nonsense. She did not care for gossip either. Xianjun leaned close to Xiaotian's ear and asked, "You really do not want to hear it? It seems to have something to do with Xiao Ce." The next second, Xiaotian suddenly looked up. Her previous languid manner had vanished completely. She stared at Xianjun and asked solemnly, "What exactly happened? Tell me." Quickly. Her reaction was instant, like a radar locking on. She could not sit still the moment she heard Xiao Ce's name. Xianjun teased her deliberately. "I thought you were not interested. Yet the moment someone mentions a certain person, you get all worked up." Xiaotian gritted her teeth and said, "I will pay for dinner tonight." Fine. Only then did Xianjun launch into the story with dramatic flair. In finance class just now, Xiao Ce and Bai Jie ran into each other. The professor said the paper had to be written in pairs. And guess what happened? Bai Jie actually went over to Xiao Ce of her own accord. As soon as she finished speaking, Xiaotian's eyes darkened. Her heart felt as though someone had grabbed it. It hurt terribly. She felt as though she could barely breathe. What happened next? Xiaotian's voice sounded steady, but a careful listener could hear it trembling. It was completely different from her usual carefree manner. Xianjun did not notice. She continued, but Xiao Ce was incredible this time. He rejected her to her face twice. I heard Bai Jie's face turn black as coal. Haha, that was so satisfying. Xianjun's words sank into Xiaotian's ears one by one. Xiaotian closed her eyes and let out a long breath. Her whole body relaxed. The heavy stone in her heart finally lifted. She no longer took the rest of the conversation to heart. Her roommates' voices gradually faded into the distance. It was as though none of it had anything to do with her anymore. She slowly lowered her eyes. Then she took out the diary she had hidden for so many years. She opened to the first page. The paper had turned yellow. The writing had faded a little too, but it was still remarkably neat. It read, "I am waiting for Xiao Ce to fall in love with me." Just then, her phone chimed. A WeChat message from Xiao Ce had arrived. Xiaotian glanced at the message. Then she hurried outside. Xianjun called after her. "Xiaotian, what's the rush? Are you trying to get yourself killed? Where are you going?" Outside. The rain grew heavier. After messaging Xiaotian, I felt much better. Thinking of Bai Jie's claim that her patience was limited, I found it utterly ridiculous. I really wanted to ask whether she had water between her ears. I sat there quietly. Some things really needed to be said plainly. That way, we could stop being tangled up in this mess all day. The moment the dismissal bell rang, I paired up with the unfamiliar guy sitting beside me. We added each other as contacts and filled out the form. The students left in small groups. The room emptied in an instant. Even Bai Jie's entourage had been driven away by her. Only the two of us remained. I slowly packed my bag. Bai Jie slowly moved over to me. She stared at me with a cold, hard expression, as though waiting for an explanation. I zipped up my bag and asked, "What do you want?" Bai Jie stared at me. "You and Xiaotian are just putting on an act to fool me, aren't you?" I remained perfectly calm after hearing that. I looked up and asked her, "So, what if we are? What does it have to do with you?" Bai Jie's expression grew even uglier. Her eyes were filled with displeasure. She snorted coldly and asked indignantly, "How could it have nothing to do with me?" I simply nodded and told her, "Bai Jie, I do not like you anymore." I said it with complete calm. There was not a trace of anger in my heart. Instead, I felt relieved. After pursuing her for so many years, once I truly let go, it was no big deal. I had persisted every day. I had stayed passionate year after year. How could Bai Jie not have understood? She simply enjoyed being fawned over. She was quick to reject everyone else, but she had never pushed me away. That special treatment was why I had been so persistent. But what happened in my previous life was like cold water. It had long since extinguished the last of my feelings. The moment those words left my mouth, Bai Jie stood there stunned for a long while, as if she could not understand a word I said. She even